open up for public discussion. Is there someone from the public that would like to speak on this item?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Bob Weeks. The address is 2451 Regency Lakes Court in Wichita. You know, as this city decides whether to give a grant of $20,000 to a private business, we need to consider the effects of programs like this on all the people of Wichita. And people are telling me that they just don't like things like this. They wonder why, at a time when the city is struggling with its budget and when many are struggling with their personal budgets, there's money available for programs like this. They also wonder why can't everyone be eligible for grants like this. Many people throughout the city, not only in politically favored areas, would like help in repairing their buildings too. Programs like this facade improvement program represent centralized government planning. It's the polar opposite of free people trading voluntarily in markets. These programs represent politicians and bureaucrats deciding where money should be spent rather than people deciding themselves. If we strip away all the lofty talk and wishful thinking about downtown and revitalization areas, what we have left is this city council deciding that people don't know how to spend and invest their own money. And that's a slap in the face to citizens. People just don't like that. Besides the personal insult, programs like this harm the wealth of our community. Free and competitive markets are without a doubt the best way to decide where to make investments. Government simply doesn't have all the knowledge necessary to make these decisions. Government doesn't have the right incentives either. And we found that these programs have a way of expanding and growing. Now we have the city manager and his staff deciding whether or not to pay certain bills as developers work on facade improvement projects. This seems to be an additional layer of city bureaucracy that we can't afford. So, Mr. Mayor and members of this council, please respect the citizens of Wichita by voting against this grant of taxpayer funds to a private business. Thank you.
Okay. Vice Mayor.
Alan, what are the criteria for the facade improvement program? Why can't we use it all over town?
Well, that was when the city council had amended the policy. Originally, it was set up to be on a pilot project basis, just the buildings along Douglas Avenue between Washington and Seneca. Then in 2006, the project was expanded to include areas that have been the subject of neighborhood redevelopment plans and the SMID area and the 21st Street Corridor Plan area and other areas that have been targeted through the planning process and other neighborhood initiatives for redevelopment.
Okay, why were we targeting these areas?
As opposed to making it citywide.
Correct.
I believe it was to limit the fiscal impact on the city's bonding and debt limit and that sort of thing.
Okay. Thank you. Manager, what bills do we got up there that we're deciding to pay and not to pay, sir? Tell me right now, please.
Mayor, members of the council, we have bills that have been submitted by 2 developers on different projects that we're reviewing to ensure compliance with program guidelines.
Okay. So we're not paying them because we don't have the money.
Oh, and that has nothing to do with our resources.
Okay, okay. So we just want to ensure that the city is doing its due diligence per program guidelines, and they're not doing anything they're not supposed to do, like misusing funds or spending it on something they're not supposed to, etc.
That's correct. We're reviewing for compliance.
I see. I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. That's my questions, Mayor.
Okay. Are there